You are sitting in a room, and even if the doors are locked and the windows are bolted, you aren't truly at rest. Your eyes scan the perimeter. You are mentally auditing the next 3 hours, the next 3 days, the next 3 years. You call it being prepared. You call it having a plan. But if you're honest, it feels less like a plan and more like a ransom note. You are holding your own peace of mind hostage until every variable is accounted for. Think about that tightness in your chest when someone changes the dinner plans at the last minute. Think about the subtle, buzzing anxiety that hums beneath your skin when a project at work isn't going exactly how you envisioned it. You aren't just organized, you are gripped by a frantic, invisible necessity to keep the world from tilting. Here is the core paradox of your life. The very armor that saved your life as a child is the same weight that is crushing the life out of you as an adult. When you were young, control was your oxygen. It was the only thing that kept the chaos of your environment from swallowing you whole. It was a brilliant, necessary survival strategy. But now, the war is over, and you are still sleeping in your trenches. You are trying to control your partner, your career, and your future because deep down, you still believe that if you let go of the steering wheel for even a second, the car will go off the cliff. You have mistaken certainty for safety, and in the process, you have become a prisoner of your own perfection. To understand why you are like this, we have to look at the architecture of the nervous system. You aren't controlling because you are bossy. You are controlling because your brain has been wired for hypervigilance. In psychology, we call this the internal working model. This is a mental representation of how relationships in the world function, formed in your earliest years. If your caregivers were unpredictable, perhaps due to addiction, mental illness, or simply emotional volatility, your brain learned a terrifying lesson. The world is not safe unless I am the one managing it. You likely experienced what is known as parentification. This is a functional role reversal where a child is forced to take on the emotional or practical responsibilities of the adult. You weren't allowed to be a child. You had to be a monitor. You had to read the micro-expressions on your father's face to see if he was angry. You had to gauge the tone of your mother's voice to see if she was spiraling. Neurologically, this kept your amygdala, the brain's smoke detector, in a state of chronic arousal. When you live in a state of prolonged stress, your default mode network, the part of your brain active when you're not focused on the outside world, becomes preoccupied with threat assessment. You developed a preoccupied attachment style, or perhaps a dismissive avoidant shell, where control acts as a surrogate for trust. Because you couldn't trust the people around you to be consistent, you decided to trust only yourself. You didn't just learn to be organized, you learned to use order as a weapon against ambiguity. Ambiguity to a traumatized child feels like death. There is a profound, invisible grief in the life of a control seeker. It is the grief of the unlived life. Every time you micromanage a situation, you are making a silent sacrifice. You are sacrificing authenticity for belonging, or at least the illusion of it. You believe that if you are perfect, if the house is spotless, if the presentation is flawless, if you never make a mistake, then and only then will you be worthy of existing. Carl Jung once said, "Where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, love is lacking. The one is the shadow of the other." By seeking power over your environment, you are unintentionally pushing love away. Love requires vulnerability, and vulnerability is the ultimate loss of control. To love someone is to give them the power to hurt you, and to the control seeker, that is an unacceptable risk. You are living with the fear of rest. To you, doing nothing feels like letting your guard down. You have turned your life into a series of checklists because you are terrified of the silence that comes when the checklists are done. In that silence, you might have to feel the exhaustion you've been running from. You might have to realize that you are tired of being the strong one, the reliable one, the one who has it all together. You are carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, not because you want to, but because you don't think the world can hold itself up without you. This is the Sisyphus complex. You are pushing the boulder up the hill every day, terrified that if you stop for a breath, the boulder will roll back and erase everything you've built. This craving for control doesn't just stay in the past, it bleeds into every corner of your adult life. It manifests in ways you might not even recognize as control. The overfunctioner. In relationships, you are the one who does everything. You plan the trips, you pay the bills, you solve the problems. You complain about the burden, but the moment someone else tries to help, you criticize how they do it. You don't want help. You want it done your way because your way feels safe. The emotional gatekeeper. You don't let people see you cry. You don't share your struggles until you've already solved them. You only present the finished version of yourself to the world. The chronic decision maker. You struggle to let others choose where to eat, what movie to watch, or how to spend a Saturday. Any deviation from your internal script triggers a physiological threat response. The fixer. When a friend is hurting, you don't just listen. You give advice, you offer solutions, you try to fix their pain, because their emotional instability makes you feel out of control. The procrastinating perfectionist. Sometimes you don't even start a project because you can't guarantee a perfect outcome. If you can't control the quality, you'd rather not play the game at all. The physical manifestation. Your body is a map of your control. Chronic jaw tension, tight shoulders, digestive issues. This is your nervous system refusing to let go. The healing begins with a radical realization. Control is an illusion. You have never actually been in control. You have only been busy. The weather, the economy, the feelings of others, the inevitable passage of time, these things are indifferent to your efforts. Healing begins when you stop gaslighting yourself. Stop saying, "I just like things a certain way," and start saying, "I am terrified of what will happen if I lose my grip." You must become a witness to your own fear. When the urge to micromanage arises, don't follow the impulse. Sit with the discomfort, feel the itch of the uncontrolled moment, and realize that even in the mess, you are still alive. The path to wholeness isn't about becoming relaxed, it's about reparenting. It's about looking at that inner child who felt they had to save the world and saying, "You can go play now. I'm the adult, and I will handle the variables. You don't have to be the architect anymore." This is the work of shadow work. It is acknowledging the part of you that is controlling, not as a villain, but as a protector who stayed on duty too long. You heal by choosing softness over rigidity. You heal by intentionally putting yourself in situations where you are not the leader, where you don't know the outcome, and where you allow yourself to be surprised. As the philosopher Lao Tzu wrote, "By letting it go, it all gets done. The world is won by those who let it go. But when you try and try, the world is beyond the winning." The goal of this journey is not to become fixed. You aren't a broken machine. You are a survivor whose survival skills are no longer serving the person you've become. The goal is to become whole. To be whole is to be able to hold both your strength and your vulnerability. It is to realize that the most beautiful things in life, love, joy, inspiration, and connection, cannot be controlled. They can only be received. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a breath that you didn't have to plan. Notice how the air enters your lungs without you having to manage the chemistry of it. The universe is carrying you, even when you aren't trying to carry it. You are safe enough to let go. You are worthy enough to rest. You are more than what you can manage.